Okay, crochet fam. So today I'm coming in with a quick tutorial because I'm making a lot of things with granny squares. I'm busting out my stash of all my little scrap yarns, and I want to make a quick video on how I change my colors with my granny squares, so I don't have to put it in the beginning of every video. So if this is for anyone who needs to learn how to change colors, how I do it with my granny squares. Now, I'm not going over needle size today because it's going to depend on whatever you're making. All videos that I'm doing with granny squares, I tell you the size you need, the hook size you need to use in order to make your blocks. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. It's just a simple, quick tutorial, and you can check out some of my videos with using granny squares. And this is how I make all of them before I piece them all together. So with that being said, let's get to the table. All right, you guys, so I'm just doing this little quick tutorial to show you how to change colors with granny squares. So we'll make a granny square changing colors. And as I already stated, is because I have a lot of videos where I'm using up a lot of my existing scrap yarn to make things. And since I have a lot of tutorials coming that require changing of colors, I figure I pull out some different colors and we'll go ahead and use that to one, two, three, four. We'll use that in order to make us some granny squares and show you guys how to change colors. I'm trying to make sure I have different colors here. Oh, this is a little bit bigger, but I'll use this. Okay, so like I said, we're going to make the granny squares. Now, for most of my projects, I do make five five rounds on my rows on my granny squares. So I'm going to show you how to do five. And if one of my projects calls for less, then you would just do less. I just want to give a general idea, one, how to make a granny square, but also how I change my colors. And I tend to keep my color changing simple because if you making something with granny squares, you know you're making a lot of granny squares. So I'm going to begin putting my yarn on my hook and pulling through and pulling my knot up. So I'm going to chain up one, two, and three. Now, some people would start with a magic circle. I'm not going to say I hate magic circles. I'm just don't do them unless I actually have to. So when I make my granny squares, I start out with a chain of three, a loose chain of three, I might add. If you would like to start with a magic circle, then here's your time to make your magic circle. Okay, I am now going to go through that first one in that chain, and I'm going to grab my yarn and pull up. Now I'm going to place my finger in between here because that lets me know where the opening of my circle will be, and I'm just going to slip stitch through there. Now I'm going to chain up one, two, and three. That chain of three does count as my first double. And now I'm going to go back into my hole and I'm going to place two more double crochets into my hole. One, two. Okay, so that is my first cluster of three. Now I'm going to chain one. And I'm going right back into this hole and make three more double crochets. So I'm going in, pulling up, taking two off, and taking two off. And I'm going to do two more. and that is my second cluster of 3. And I'm going to chain 1. Going back into the hole, I'm going to make 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now I have another cluster of 3. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going right back into that same hole and making another 3 double crochets. And I'm going to chain 1. Now this whole time you see I've been working over the little tail from when I began. Now I'm going to go into the top of the chain 3 that we started with, and I'm going to slip stitch into there, and I'll close it off, and now I have my middle part. And where the chain 1 spaces are, those are our corners. So now that I'm finished with this color, I'm going to simply pull it, cut, and now I'm going to pull this through and pull it down tight. This becomes a weavable string later on. Now where I stopped at, I don't want to start there. I don't start here. I always start here. Okay. Now I'm going to place my hook through, and my next color, make gray the next color. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my finger, grab it on this end, and pull the string through. It's like that now. And now I'm going to slip my hook in there and anchor this in. Now I'm going to go back into this hole and make a double crochet. And now I'm going to make 2 more double crochets, because remember our granny squares are 3 double crochets together, little clusters I call them. Now I've worked over this beginning string for this space and these stitches. I'm just going to leave that alone in the back, and I'm going to go through my next hole, and I'm going to make 3 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go right back into this space and make 3 more double crochets. Now this is going to be how all our corners are. 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Now I have this where I'm going to weave in later on, but I am going to fold it over and work over it for this next one. And we're going to make 3 double crochets into this corner. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and go right back into that corner with 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. Now we're going to go right back into this corner and make 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and go right back in and make 3 more double crochets. Now this is where we begin. We're going to go in there and finish that corner by placing 3 double crochets there. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Now we're going to go through the top of the double that we made in the beginning. Grab our yarn, pull through, and slip stitch here. Now that we've done, we're going to cut our yarn. We're finished with the gray, and we're going to pull through and pull tight. So we started here, so I will not start here. I will start here, and I will find my corner, my center, and I will put this through the chain 1 space. And I have my next color. And I'm going to wrap the yarn around my finger, grab it, and push this through. Now I'm going to place it on my hook and join on. Now I'm going to go back in and make my double crochet. And I'm going to go back in here and make 2 more double crochets. So I now have 3 double crochets or cluster, and I also have half of my corner. I'm going to go into this first space we created here, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets in there. Now here's my corner. I'm going to go in here and make another corner. So our corners are done in 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and back into the corner with 3 more double crochets. And now into this space, I'm going to put 3 double crochets. And now we come back to this space, to this corner. I'm going to fold this over here. So I'm going to work over as I go in my corner and make 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. Chain 1, and I'm going right back into my corner with 3 more double crochets. Now I'm going into this space with 3 double crochets. So as you see, we work in clusters everywhere but our corner. And I'm back at my corner, so my corner gets 3 double crochets. A chain 1 and 3 double crochets. So now I'm here, and this space get 3 double crochets. And I'm back to where I began it, and that's a corner. So I have to finish my corner with 3 double crochets. chain one. Now the top of the double crochet that we began with, we're going to go through there, pull through, and slip stitch. Now we're done with this color. We're going to cut our yarn, and we're going to pull through here. Now I've finished here, so I'm not going to go here, and I'm going to go here. And I'm going to put my hook through the corner, grab my next color, wrap it around my finger, grab the front, and pull it through. I'm going to place this on my hook and pull through. And now I'm going to go back in and make a double crochet. Now I'm going to make 2 more double crochets to finish half of this corner. Now, as you see, as it grows, we create these little pockets. Now all these pockets that we're creating are going to get 3 double crochets. Now right here, 3 double crochets. And in here, 3 double crochets. And we're at a corner, so our corner gets 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and 3 more double crochets all in that space. And as you can see, the more we go up, the more rows we do, the more little pockets we'll get to go back along to put a cluster of 3 double crochets in there. Our next space, of course, little pocket, it's going to get our 3 double crochets, and our next one, 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to bend this way, and I'm going to work over that and put in my corner 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. And one of these 2 spaces, remember, they get 3 double crochets. And in here, 3 double crochets. And our corner is going to get 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and 3 double crochets. In this space right here, we're going to put 3 double crochets. And here, 3 double crochets. And here, 3 double crochets. and chain 1. Now we're going to go into the top of the double in which we started in and pull through, slip stitch through, and cut our yarn because we're done with this color. So we're going to pull this through here and pull tight. Now, not for anything, this is beautiful. I did not pick these colors out special. I just grabbed colors. Like I said, I'm working with scrap yarn and I just grab whatever I have. This is absolutely pretty. What I want to do next would be, if I was working on a project and it consists of 5 rows of a 5-row granny, then this last color would technically be whatever color everything else is going to be worked in. All of the pieces then would have the same next color, which might be black, charcoal, whatever color you choose. So in my instance, I was going to use this purple, but if I was ending this for a piece, it would end in black. So I'm just going to make it black because I want to give you a full idea of how a finish one used for something might look. So I'm going to wrap my yarn around my finger and pull it through. So remember, I stopped here, so I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to go here. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go through my corner, add my yarn on, pull up, and make a double crochet. And I'm going right back into that hole, making 2 more double crochets. And now you see we have more little pockets. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And each one is going to get 3 double crochets. And this way. And that one. And our corner gets what our corner gets. 3 double crochets, a chain 1, and 3 double crochets. And now we have 3 more, 1, 2, 3 more pockets, and each one is going to get 3 double crochets. Now we're going to fold this over here, and I'm going to go in there and make my corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets all into the same space. And right back into the pockets, making our double crochets. And we're going to go right into this corner. And we're going to make our corner, chain 1, go right back in there and make 3 double crochets. And our last 3 pockets. And this is the last one. And now we have to finish our corner, and we do that by putting 3 double crochets in. Chain 1, and now we're going to go through the top of the double crochet that we started with and slip stitch through, and our yarn off and pull through. And we have made a granny with the change of colors, and this is really pretty. I already know me in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna make more of these and I'm gonna use that for something. So you can see from the back of our granny, we have all these weavable ends where we have stopped. Now where you see them, they're the longer ones. I did that on purpose because I wanted you to be able to see them. So these are the longer ones where we have stopped. Okay, and the shorter ones we have worked over when we begin our first 1, 2, 3 double crochets. We worked over that beginning one. Now me, I would clip these. Sometimes I make the, it depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I make these just as long as these. I didn't want to have them too much in the way, too much going on. But you can start with them just as long so you can weave them in. I still will weave this in. I just put my needle through here and then thread it and then pull it through. I don't have my tapestry needle with me right now because yeah, that's what I do. Come to the table unprepared. But I wasn't going to show you guys how to weave them in. I just wanted to make sure you knew that this is when they get weaved in, and to leave them long enough to be weaved in. And yeah, so that's how I do them. So you're going to find quite a few videos that I've already posted and will post in the future that pertain to granny squares. I will refer you back to this video if I am not doing instruction in the video for said granny square, just to make it easier for those who need the extra help to be able to get that time to go over every single row. So that is it, and thank you for watching this, and check out some of the tutorials that you can use this in that I have. I have the vest, granny square vest. I have a long granny square vest coming up, and we have the vibrant granny square sweater. Of a tan granny square sweater. I do tons of granny square tutorials, so you can check those out, and thank you for watching.